Hello everybody. What the fuck is up? As you can tell, this is not ASMR. This is not ASMR on any level, in any way, shape, or form is this ASMR. But I wanted to keep some sort of consistency in this motherfucker, so I have food. And how is this bag? Because guess what? All my shit is right here. Okay. Fucking green beans. Fucking. Hold on. You can see it a little better here. Oh! You actually see my food for once? Wow. But you might be wondering, well, how the fuck? If all the food's out, how does it? I'm smart. Smart. Okay. So, today was not good. No. Wasn't a good day. And that's why this video cannot be ASMR. Because I'm mad. And not only was this day not good, bitch, tell me why my dumbass heated up coleslaw. It looks like shit. I'm gonna still eat it though. I'm gonna still try it. It just don't hit the same if it's warm. It don't hit the same. Okay. So I planned on doing this video a while ago. Not a while ago because obviously all the events happened today. But a few hours ago I planned on doing this video. And guess who knew about it first? All the motherfuckers that follow me on Instagram. So if you want to know updates about shit like that, videos I may or may not be posting, little tidbits about my motherfucking life outside of this bitch, well, follow me on Instagram. You can follow me on Instagram. And honestly, the way that I've been handling this Instagram this time around is way better because I'm posting cause before my old Instagram, even on my personal page, I never updated my stories. I never did a story. So I think doing stories is good. Also, honestly, reading your guys' DMs. Some of y'all are so fucking sweet. So, seriously, thank you. Because that sweet shit, you have no idea how it helps me. I'm going through it. I'm going through it, and I'll tell you why. Let's start it now. Okay, so I had to call off work yesterday because my grandmother fell, and she fell at 5 a.m., right? I did not hear her calling my name until 8:30. So I go in her room, and I'm like, oh my God, she just sprawled out on the floor. And I'm like, what the hell happened? And she's like, I've been calling you since 5 a.m. Not that she'd been calling me since 5 a.m., but she had been calling me for hours because she had fallen at 5 a.m. And the day before yesterday, she couldn't walk because her leg was so fucking sore. And we realized her leg was sore because of the fall that she had taken 3 days ago. In the kitchen. She's been falling a lot for the past few days. But she's been able to get herself up because, we've been doing physical therapy with her, forcing her basically to do the physical therapy, but she's been consistent nonetheless. Sorry, I was looking at a DM from Instagram. DM me. Anyway, so what the fuck was I saying? Oh, yeah. She's actually listening to me about the sodium. So I've been regulating that shit like a motherfucker. I've been regulating that shit like a motherfucker. And she hasn't been in the hospital she hasn't been to the hospital in 2 months, which is a lot. That's saying a lot because before that, ever since I came home, from May until June, the end of June, I would say. Yeah, from May until, actually probably like, yeah, the beginning of June. No, maybe even the beginning of July. She had been gone, she went to the hospital. She had to go to the hospital like every 2 weeks, every other week, and she would stay there for like days and days and days, or she'd be in the nursing home for rehab because she just wasn't listening to anybody about any advice. So the fact that she fell today, or fell yesterday, and couldn't walk was a slap in the face, because it's like, damn, she's actually been doing really good, you know what I mean? So it just really fucking sucks. Well, come to fucking find out, this morning, her doctor calls me, because I went to visit her in the hospital yesterday, and they just really didn't know what was wrong. They thought she broke her hip, which is such a terrible, stereotypical. I looked at her, and I was like, is this really what you've become? She was like, what you mean? I was like, you really gonna be old and breaking your hip? Do you know what you look like? A stereotype. It was a joke. But anyway, so they thought she broke her hip. Well, they did like a scan or some shit, and the hip wasn't broken. So they didn't know what the fuck was wrong with her. Well, today, I get a call early before I'm going to work, and the doctor called me, and he's like, so yeah, your grandmother needs a blood transfusion in her leg because she's losing a lot of blood, but she won't take it. Saw that coming. Why won't she take it? Because she's a Jehovah's Witness, and they don't take blood. So now, the doctors have to come up with a way to make up for that. Like, they have to try to find a way around it. And I was so upset because I was like, fuck. Like, I'm not upset of her for, like, following her religion, but I was upset because it's just, like, this whole time, you know, I've been the one, me and my sister, but mostly me, honestly, because it's mostly the diet thing. I've been the one that's been like, no, Grandma, you need to do this. No, Grandma, you need to do that. No, I'm not buying this for you. I'm not doing this for you. No, you're not going to make me your enabler in this situation. And those things that I could control, this is totally out of my fucking control, and I don't know how to feel about it. It's out of my fucking hands, and I feel helpless as fuck. So this is the mentality that I have going into work, right? Okay, so this is the mentality that I have going into work of, and I was trying to call her before I went to work because obviously I wanted to talk to her, but she wasn't answering her phone, and I texted her and I told her to call me when she could, whatever, because I didn't know if maybe they were doing tests or something. So I'm just, like, awaiting my grandmother to call me. I really want to talk to her because this is so fucking serious. I get to work, and obviously, like, something that heavy going on, I'm already fighting back tears because I'm sad. I'm kicking myself for not, because, like, yesterday I told them I don't know if I'll be able to come in today. I told them yesterday that I didn't know if I would be able to come in today because I didn't, in my mind, I'm like, I don't know where my headspace is going to be at. But I was like, damn, I just started this job. I've only worked for 2 days. I was late for one of those days, and now I'm already calling off. Like, I need to show them that, you know, I'm serious. Even though I honestly don't even fucking like this job, but you're always supposed to do your best, whatever you're given, right? So I was like, no, I need to show up. I need to whatever. Anyway, so if today wasn't full of the fuck shit, so I get in this bitch, and my boss, he wanted me to help him sweep, but help him sweep, I did the vacuuming. Everything is, like, pretty, like, low-key, until we got a shipment in, of, like, because I work at a pool place that, like, sells, like, builds pools and, like, sells shit for pools and what the fuck ever. So we got a shipment today, and it was our boss and the manager. So I'll just say, but the manager is basically going to take over soon. But anyway, we'll just call him the manager. So the manager, he's really cool. He's like, oh, there's a shipment. I'm like, oh, okay, so I'm just getting ready. Like, okay, I'll probably have to unload stuff, which is not in my job description, by the way. And I had to talk to my my recruiter person at Llama what the fuck did I call that place? Llama agency. Yeah, I had to talk to Egg at the Llama agency about that today, because you know, they wanted me to like help lift this like bag of like this whole case of pool shock to this guy's car, and I couldn't lift it. And they're like, what do you mean can't lift it? And I was like, I can't lift this shit. What? Nigga, this shit is like fucking 30 pounds. I can't lift that. And he's like, well, you're supposed to be able to lift 60 pounds. Huh? Nigga, what? This job said it was an administrative assistant job. What do you mean lifting 60 fucking pounds? I was like, is that part of the job description? He's like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, y'all niggas tripping. Let me find, because I'm already over it at that point. Because I'm like, oh, so y'all are like expecting me to do this. It's not gonna fucking happen. I'm not doing that. I'm gonna throw my fucking back out and be right next to my grandmother in the fucking hospital if I try to do that shit. I'm not strong. Bitch, I'm not strong. I can't do it. You're not gonna make me do it. Any fucking way. So, that happens. So fast forward to the shipment being brought in. I'm thinking in my head, damn, I gotta do some more lifting. But obviously I wasn't lifting like more like boxes. I was just gonna lift like the products, which are pretty easy to lift. And like put them on the shelves, price them, whatever. So I'm minding my fucking business behind the desk. And the manager comes out to the truck that's like coming around the corner. Because our store is connected to like a clothing store, and like we're in our own little bubble off the road. So you have to come in this little shits. I don't even know really how to describe it. This bitch ass nigga driving the truck, he fucking comes. He's coming. There's a big ass speed bump. And I'm in this bitch. All of a sudden, I'm like, the whole damn building shaking. I'm like, what the hell? What the fuck is happening? This nigga with his fucking truck hit the whole fucking building. Where the fuck do they do that at? And my manager's out there like, what the fuck? Whatever, trying to like stop him from doing it. And like, this bitch, do you know that this bitch came out the he came out the truck and goes say something. What? My manager's like, you just hit the whole damn building. He was like, no, I just hit the speed bump. I'm like crying right now because it's like, this isn't even half of the day, right? This is the beginning of the day. I got there at 10. The store opens at 9:30. This happened at 11:30, bitch. So I'm like already over it because I'm like, I don't feel safe. I don't feel safe. And so obviously everybody's energy is just totally fucked up after that. Because they don't own that building. And he fucked up the siding or something. He fucked up one of the beams on the building. So they had to call the landlord or whatever. And they're like yelling at each other. Come to find out, the nigga that was driving the truck, that's his first day. Well, my manager called the company, and apparently that's gonna be his last motherfucking day. It's sad, but it's like, he was so unfazed too, because he dead ass was just like, I didn't even know I hit the building. And it wasn't really that deep for him. So it's like sad that he lost his job, but like, And I hope that he can find something else, and I hope he doesn't hit any more buildings. But, like, nigga. Anyway, so time goes on. And I'm like pricing things and I'm putting them on shelves, and my grandmother still hasn't called me. She still hasn't called me. And I'm doing some, like, everything in the store is getting to me because there's so much that goes into knowing about pools. More than I ever knew. And it's so fucking annoying because obviously people come in and if they see you working there, you work there, obviously they expect you to know these things. I don't know shit. And I'm trying my best to ask questions. And like jot down things in my brain and this and that, but it's so much shit and I've only been there for like 3 days. And not even like a whole like 3 days, for real. So I was getting really down and out because these people were like getting annoyed because I kept having to be like, oh, I don't know about that. Look, I'm gonna go check for it. Or check on that and see. And they're getting annoyed because we're getting busy and they need to wait until, you know, my manager and the boss are done talking because I don't know shit, but I'm supposed to be in that bitch, I guess, knowing things, but they know that I don't know things, and they were like, it told me it was going to take time for me to learn everything, obviously, with any job, but, like, I'm really hard on myself, and I have, like, a really huge perfectionist mentality, which is really bad, because obviously you can never be perfect, but when I go into a situation, I always compare myself to the best person. Like, obviously the person that's been doing it for years, right? And if I'm not on that level, like, if I don't hurry up and get on that level, I beat myself up about it a lot. Because I just feel inadequate. And, like, I'm not doing my job well. And I take pride in every fucking thing that I do. Like, I don't give a fuck if I'm fucking flipping burgers at McDonald's, which I've never done. But I was a cashier at Chick-fil-A for a long time. So even that job, I did it well, right? So I don't give a fuck if it's that job or like being a director for an orchestra. Like, my name is on it. So like my work is associated with me as a person and how people view me professionally. And it's hard enough getting taken seriously by motherfuckers when you're this short, okay, fucking black, fucking female, coming out of college with a fucking music degree, okay? It's hard to gain respect. And that was another thing that was getting on my nerves. My boss, he's really nice, okay? A sweetheart. I just want to preface this by saying that because he's really nice. He hired me the same day that I interviewed. He was saying some pretty racist shit today. They got an order from this lady who was like Indian, dead ass Indian, not like Native American, and they were asking me like how I thought her name was pronounced, which that wasn't the racist part, and I pronounced it, and they were like, oh yeah, you were close, whatever. And then my boss, he starts, the owner of the store, he starts talking about like, first of all, he starts doing Indian accents, and I was kind of just like, that's a little cringy. Not saying that I've never done that before. I have, but not, like, mocking someone. I've never, like, done that in a mocking way. I do it, like, I really don't even do it anymore, because it's not, like, a lot of people, like, take offense to it, so I really don't do it. If I'm, like, in a situation with my friends, like, I'll do it. But it's not because we're mocking people. It's literally because we're fucking weirdos. And me and my one friend, we just do accents for everything. We do, like, southern accents. Fucking any accent that we can do, we just do it just to be, like, weird and dumb. Not to, like, actually trying to portray a race of people. But anyway, I'm saying that to say that, like, I'm pointing out this racism, but I'm also not perfect. I never want anyone who watches me to think that I think I'm like this perfect person. I'm definitely not. I'm not perfect at all. Like, I'm definitely not, like, I'm not nearly the most PC motherfucker out here either. Like, the way that I view things and the way I view the world, it's not, a lot of people these days are like either this or that. I will never place myself on either extreme ends of whatever you choose to believe in anything. I'm always like, because I always want to see things from like everybody's perspective. But anyway, that's going off on a tangent. So the racist shit, he was just saying like stuff about Indian people, and then the only thing that I really remember, because I couldn't believe we were having this conversation, I was like, this is really fucking awkward. But the only thing that I specifically remember, because I was like, yeah, I'm gonna walk away now, he was like, do you know the difference between when an Indian person wears a turban and when they like have that dot in your head, on their head, or like, do you know why, or yeah, the difference, and like if they were at the same time. And I was like, no, because I thought that he was like dead ass asking me. I thought he was going to dead ass tell me the reason. He was like, oh, one's to push, one's to pull. I was like, oh, I did my little awkward laugh, and then I was like, oh, I'm gonna go back to not being around this conversation. And like my manager, he was obviously uncomfortable. He was uncomfortable too. I will say my boss is very fucking old. That doesn't excuse anything at all. But he's very fucking old. Very fucking old. Like, he's like 80 something. A sweetheart. But that was weird. On top of the fact that ever since I started working there, he like makes it known to me every point of the day that I'm the only female working there. Why? How does he do this? How does he achieve this, you ask? Anytime he wants me to do something, hey sweetie, can you do this? Hey babe, can you do that? Hey babe, how's it going? Hey sweetie, how are you? Okay girl, I see you. Hey sweetheart, do you think you can lift this? When I was fucking unpacking the shipments, I asked him for a box cutter so I can open the boxes because I know how to use a knife. I'm not 5 years old. He goes, okay, sweetie, I'm gonna give you this knife, but it's very dangerous. You need to be really careful when you use it. I was like, if you don't think I can use a knife to open a box, why am I working here? If you really think that you need to say that to me, like, I don't know how long I'm going to stay at this job. I really, really don't. Because not only is it not even an administrative, it doesn't even feel like an administrative position, but it's just a lot of fuck shit that I don't care about. Like, I don't care about needing to know all this shit about pools, but obviously because I'm working there, I'm going to learn, because I will never stand to be a mediocre bitch. I will never be that bitch that just goes in, does the bare minimum, and clocks out. I will never be that bitch because I hold myself to a high standard. So I'm gonna have to learn about this shit, but I don't want to. And then on top of that, like, being called sweetie and honey, like, you're not calling anyone else that but me. I don't like that shit. Like, so, but like I said, he's a sweetheart. I will say, like, he is very, very, very kind. Nobody's perfect. Human beings are such complicated creatures, like, and that's why I'm trying to emphasize that, like, because I feel like in today's world, a lot of people, like, they take one instance of something that someone did, and they want to make it seem like that's who they are, a piece of shit for, like, one thing that they did. And although, like, yeah, that shit should be recognized, we shouldn't, I just really don't agree with regarding human life and a human existence by one instance or one fuck up. Or fuck it, even multiple fuck ups. Because that's not who we are. We came in this world destined to fuck up, all of us. So, like, but a lot of us do a lot of good, too. So, to portray someone as a shitty person just because they said something racist, obviously, I'm biased because I'm black, and, like, I'm not going to associate myself with people who say racist things. I'm not. But in the back of my mind, do I think that they're a piece of shit that deserves to fucking die? No. I don't. I'm just not going to choose to associate with you. Like, I hope that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. Just giving you an example. My grandmother. I love her to death. She is the most important woman to me ever. That woman saved my life. Okay? Saved my life from myself. I'm not going to go into detail, but I love her so much. She is such a generous, kind, heartwarming person. She also is pretty homophobic, okay? She will give you her last dime, okay? And she's also used the F word frequently. Like, she doesn't use it, like, every single day, but if, like, she sees, like, gay people on the TV, or, like, if I'm that's why I just don't watch anything, like, I definitely cannot watch RuPaul's Drag. I can't even watch Project Runway around her anymore, because if she thinks that a guy is being, like, flamboyantly gay on the table, she'll be like, wow, look at that F. And I'll be like, ooh, it's time to change the channel. But is she a terrible person? No. She's not. And I would do anything for her. Is that behavior excusable? Hell fucking no. Do I need somewhere to live? Yeah! Also, she's in such poor health. Like, that shit just doesn't even fucking matter to me. When you get to the point where you're staring at life or death, right? All of that shit, it really just doesn't fucking matter anymore. It gets to the place where, like, all this racial shit, like, I will never let racial shit be the end-all be-all for me, because I don't see myself as a race first. I see myself as a human being, a human vessel in this world, and then I see myself as a woman, and then I see myself as black. But I only see myself as black because some motherfuckers, however many years ago, decided that we all need to be split up into these groups of people. And one group of people just decided they were better than everybody else. And they decided, hey, we're going to make the rest of you feel like fucking shit. And we're going to make the rest of you feel like you need to identify yourselves as this label in order to gain any sort of standing in this world. So people who are closer to the highest label, they feel like they're better than other people down here, and it's just a bunch of bullshit. So no, I will never consider myself as black first in this world. Obviously, I am a black person, and I'm fully aware, fully acknowledge, Black Lives Matter. Hello, hi, how are you? But at the same time, at the end of the day, when it comes to human life, bruh, I'm going on a tangent. Listen, I haven't even told you the worst part of today. So finally, my grandmother calls me, right? My grandmother finally calls me, and I'm like, oh my god, I need to take this call. So I go and I take the call, and she's telling me basically again what the doctor told her, and she's like, yeah, I just really don't feel like I need it. So, and I was like, Grandma, I'm not trying to get on you for not taking the blood. I will never get on you for that, because that's like a huge thing in their religion. That's like the number one no-no. So if that's your religion, okay, Grandma, that is your religion, and I never expected you to take the blood, because I know you can't. And I know it's in your belief system that you cannot. I will not put, but I was asking her, like, do you think, you really feel like you don't need it, or you just feel like you're gonna just hope for the best? And she was basically like, yeah, I'm just gonna hope for the best. But this was so serious, and just like, I'm not mad at her for not taking the blood, obviously, because I'm not gonna have her fuck up her belief system just to have some more life on this earth when she's already lived a full life. And honestly, she's pretty much, she's been ready to go. If I'm being completely honest, she's been ready to go. You can see it in her face. I mean, when my dad died, that fucking destroyed her. No parent ever wants to have to bury their child. So when that happened, on top of the fact that, you know, my grandfather died 11 years ago, maybe, from the same heart condition that my dad had. And now my grandmother has that same heart condition. She's like, oh, well. But she sticks around and she like fights and fights because she doesn't want to leave me and my sister alone. Because the why this situation is so, not even because I'm going to lose the one woman in this world that I love the most, but once she's gone, me and my sister will have nobody. Absolutely nobody. And we will have to fend for our fucking selves. I don't have any other family who I can lean on. Obviously, I have family members that I can talk to that can help me out for some time, but I don't have, you know, how you can, a lot of people can just go back to their parents' house, you know, if they go try to like venture off and do something and then it doesn't work out, they can just fall back and go back to their parents' house. My grandmother was that person for me, so when she was gone, she was the only person, like, for that for me. My dad's fucking dead, okay? My mom is batshit crazy. I would live in a homeless shelter before I would ever live with my mother again. I don't have anybody. So in my head, I'm like, fuck. This is some real type shit. Like, I will have to fend for my fucking self out here. And I'm not ready. I don't have enough experience to get... Anyway, I'm not even going to go into that because I actually will start crying if I think about how doubly devastating it will be for me to lose my grandmother. Anyway, so I'm crying while she's telling me this, right? And then I go back into the store. I've been wanting to, like, the whole day, I wanted to leave early. So bad. So bad, I just wanted to leave early. Because I was holding back tears the whole day. And when she called me and told me all that, because she was telling me, like, I took a life insurance policy out for you and your sister. Like, in order for you to get it, it's in my drawer, it's like this and that. And you need to become my power of attorney so you can get all the money on my bank account. Like, I don't want to hear any of this because that insinuates that you're going to be gone. And I can't handle it. So I'm going back into the store and I'm like, no, I need to finish out my day. But I'm like on the teetering point where I'm about to lose my shit because it's been a terrible fucking day. And as soon as I got on the phone with my grandmother, everybody and their fucking mom decided to come into the store, right? And it's just more of people being annoyed with me because I don't know anything. But the pinnacle of what happened during that rush was this fucking bitch. Actually, you know, when she walked in, she wasn't a bitch. She was just a regular old woman, okay? So this lady, who could be of any virtue, walks in. And I look at her, wanting to help, right? Because I don't know anything about this woman. She could be the best woman on this planet. She comes in and tells me that she needs a fucking pool cover. Okay, great. I just got trained on how to dissect what kind of pool cover to give what kind of person for what kind of fucking pool, because there's 1,000 of those bitches and they're all priced differently and they're all different, like standards. Like, there's a shitty one, a better one, and a really good one. So in-ground pool, out-ground pool, like all this other bullshit. If you even have steps, then it fucks with the footing, the square footage of the cover And I gotta do some math shit to figure that out. I didn't do good in math. So she's like, yeah, I need a pool cover. And then she's one of those people that have to like do things like all like, so every single time I try to ask her, what size is your pool? She cuts me off. And it's like, oh, well, I need this too. And I need this too. And I keep trying to ask her, what size is your pool? She just keeps cutting me off. And then it's to the point where she's like, so do you know what kind of cover I need? And I'm like, well, what's, because I'm like confused. And then she's like, you know what, I almost said his name. Just get me your manager. And I'm like, okay, well, obviously you see him right there. He's helping someone. He's testing out someone's water. And she looks at him and she's like, manager, obviously she knows his first name. She's calling him by his first name. Manager, I need a pool cover. He's like, okay, well, you see I'm with someone, so can you wait? And she's like, well, I need it, so. And I'm like, what a fucking bitch. It gets better. Oh my God, it gets so better. So this man comes hobbling in this fucking store, right? And he is, as soon as he walks in, he is, again, of any virtue. I don't know anything about this motherfucker. He comes in, and I think they're husband and wife, whatever. And he's trying to tell me something. He's trying to tell me, oh yeah, by the way, we also need this and this. She cuts him off and looks at me and is like, don't even bother. She doesn't know anything. So he tries again. He's like, well, let me just try to explain it to her. He's trying to like give me the benefit of the doubt. And he's trying to explain this little fucking device that he needs. And she's like, no, like seriously, don't bother. She doesn't know anything. She doesn't know anything. And she looks at me and she's like, are you new? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, and then she starts trying to say something else, and I just look at something else that she wanted me to jot down for my manager to get. I just looked at her in seething anger because I wanted to take that hillbilly fucking bitch by her scalp and rip her some good sense. Because who the fuck are you talking to? You have no idea what people are going through on a daily basis. If it wasn't for the fact that I need that job, because I don't have anything else going for me right now, okay? I need to make money. If it wasn't for that, I would have cussed your fucking ass out. And if I was a different kind of person, bitch, I would have came across that counter and mollywopped you in the fucking face. Obviously, I'm not that type of person. So I wouldn't have done that. But you don't know what people are going through, and that's my point, because the right one would have fucked her up. I wasn't the right one. I was the wrong one, okay? I'm not, I am a pretty violent person in my head, but physically I'm not violent. I grew up in an abusive home, okay? So, like, my thoughts can be pretty violent. But I don't act on the violence, okay? But others do. And the right one would have fucked you up. That's all I have to say. I'm sitting there, and it's like, because I was holding back tears even before then because of my grandmother. And you don't know what could set people off on the edge. You don't know. Being smart to somebody could just do that thing that sets them on the edge. And next thing you know, bitch, you got a knife in your fucking throat because you decided to pop off on the side of your fucking neck. Because you decided you didn't want to be a nice bitch today. No, you wanted to be a fucking cunt today. So now you got a knife in the side of your fucking neck. That could have happened to you, hoe. That could have happened. It didn't. Because like I said, I'm not that kind of person. But the right one would have did it. So I start fucking crying. And I go to the back because I can't fucking do it. I can't fucking do it. Like, I just can't do it because I'm like, I'm trying so hard to keep it together today. And I got through it. I will say that there were a couple more customers that came in. I had to test their pool water, and they were way nicer. And they were a lot patient with me, so that was good. And then my manager told my boss what that fucking bitch said to me, and he was like, oh my God, did she hear her say that? Like, duh, I fucking heard. And my manager was like, I heard them, because they were like in the back thinking I couldn't hear them, but I could hear them. And he was like, yeah, she heard her say that shit. And so The last 15 minutes of my shift, my boss, he was like, here, sweetie, come and get some chips and dip. And I was like, okay. And for the last, like, 15 minutes of my shift, he let me just sit and eat chips and dip. And that's what my Instagram story was. I was eating, and that was the first food that I had in my mouth all day. So, and this is the second food that I have in my mouth all day. But you know what? You know, the shit with my grandmother that's happening is fucked up. That bitch was fucked up. But, you know, she probably lives a sorry-ass life. If she really, like, had to come at me like that, if she really felt the need in her bones to feel the need to come at me like that. And the thing about it is, like, my manager and my boss, they can't fucking stand her anyway, because they, like, built a pool for her or some shit. They were telling me, like, yeah, that bitch is fucking crazy. But, like, he was telling me that he literally was, like, digging the dirt out of her fucking pool, and her husband went into the hole, and he's in, like, the little, like, fucking construction shit, and he told me that they literally would not get out of the pool while he was digging the dirt with that machine. Like, fucking crazy people. But anyway, so, yeah, today has been pretty fucked up, but you know what? There was a slight glimmer of hope, because my mother texted me today, and my mom's a piece of fucking work. One of the most laziest people that I've ever met in my fucking life. But you know what? The universe has their ways of, like, helping you through shit, and I found a glimmer of hope through her today, because you know what? She sent me a link to this job that she's doing, and it's like your flexible hours, and like you can do it on your own time and whatever. And I was like, you know what, because like she's actually been working and actually been making money, instead of asking me for money to help her pay her fucking bills because she doesn't want to work. She's actually been working for herself, and that's the type of initiative I haven't seen in that woman for a long time. So if that type of thing is able to happen, well, you know what, I'm gonna keep my head up high, because I never thought that bitch would go out of her way to get a job. So, and I'm gonna try to see what that job's about. I'm gonna see what it's about. But anyway, I just needed to vent and eat food. And I initially just wanted to call one of my friends. But honestly, like, a lot of people in my life are busy. And if no one had answered my call, I probably would have just, like, cried myself to sleep. So in order to just avoid that possibility, I was like, let me just record a video. Because, like, some people on my channel will give a fuck. Anyway, I hope you guys have had a way better day than me. I wouldn't wish this feeling that I've been feeling on anyone. I'm going to try to keep my head up. I'm going to I might record another video. Because, honestly, my makeup is cute as shit. It shouldn't go to waste. I'm gonna try to record another video tonight. I'm gonna pack all this shit up, clean up, and go visit my grandmother at the hospital, and then I'm gonna go pick up my sister from the airport. And that'll be that. Gracias por ver el video y bye todos.